Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Monday, August 12 recap. Brennan's permanent PC move. Nina spills Willow's secret to Maxie. General Hospital, GH, spoilers recap for Monday, August 12, reveals that Drew Quartermain, Cameron Matheson, had a brief, awkward encounter with Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, before she supported Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, over her deceased baby. Since Willow had lost a baby of her own, she related to Christina in some ways and suggested it'd be easier to avoid falling apart in time. Willow also helped Christina fix her IV since it was pulling on her uncomfortably. After a chat with Christina about nursing, Willow told Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Hurst, that she wanted to return to work at GH. Since Willow missed helping people and her new spokesperson gig required more travel than she expected, she was ready to be a nurse again. Meanwhile, Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Sutton, gave Blaze Eka Allison Allie Rogers, Jacqueline Grace Lopez, updates on an incredible offer, one that would make her the opening act of Miguel Moraz's Ricky Martin World Tour. Although Brooklyn knew the timing was awful, considering what just happened to Christina, she pushed Blaze to embrace this career opportunity, said she had to leave for Hong Kong tonight. Natalia Ramirez, Eva LaRue, heard the tour news and packed up some of Blaze's things. But then Brooklyn informed her that Blaze said to pass on the offer. Next on Monday's B&B episode, Blaze visited Christina and struggled to connect with her. Although Blaze kept trying to give her things like water and an extra blanket, Christina seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Once Blaze left, Natalia arrived and told Christina about the tour situation since Blaze hadn't mentioned it. Although Natalia knew she had no right to ask anything of Christina, she tearfully pleaded with her to let Blaze go. After Natalia met back up with Brooklyn, she was glad BLQ hadn't passed on the tour offer yet and told her not to turn it down. When Blaze returned to Christina's room, Christina brought up the tour along with Natalia's visit. This was something Christina actually agreed with Natalia on, so she pushed Blaze to go on the tour. At the Metro Court, Jack Brennan, Charles Mazur, got Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, to bring a bottle of wine up to his room under the guise of being a complaining guest. Once Carly was there, Brennan encouraged her to have some wine and dinner with him. Down in the restaurant, Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, got an alarming text and had to delay her own meeting with Felicia Scorvio, Christina Wagner, to confront Brennan. Carly questioned Brennan about his Pentonville release and permanent move to Port Charles, but he only gave her vague, charming answers. Anna eventually showed up to derail Brennan's evening with Carly, who initially opted to stick around and hear what Anna had to say. Anna grilled Brennan about how got assigned to PC, where the WSB had just opened an office. Brennan was running that office now, so Anna suspected he was the reason it opened at all. Once Carly took off and filled Felicia in on what was happening upstairs, Anna demanded to know Brennan's agenda. When Anna quizzed Brennan about his dinner with Carly, he talked about wanting to be on good terms with the owner of the hotel. That seemed like all the confirmation Anna needed to know Brennan was behind the FBI's disappearing evidence. At Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watro's apartment, Maxie Jones, Kirsten Storms, came over and saw there was an extra wine glass. Nina admitted Drew was coming over for dinner since they had some campaign stuff to go over. Maxie thought more was going on, so Nina confessed to trying to distract Drew from Willow. Once Nina confided about the kiss Willow and Drew shared on the 4th of July, Maxie was stunned and promised to keep the secret. Maxie clearly didn't approve of Nina throwing herself at Drew as a solution, but Nina defended her plan. After Maxie said she'd kill Nina if she fell in love with Drew, Nina insisted she'd do it herself if that happened later. Drew and Nina flirted with each other on her sofa before things took a passionate turn. At the cemetery, T.J. Ashford Tatch, Willow got Jordan Ashford's Tanisha Harper, help picking out a spot for the baby's grave, since Molly Lansing Davis Kristen Vaganos had gone MIA. Once Molly finally showed up, T.J. bickered with her privately since he needed certain rituals for closure. Molly was focused on making sure Ava Jerome, Maura West, was punished to the full extent of the law, but TJ wondered what would happen after that. Since TJ still wanted to be a couple and get through this together, Molly seemed to be on the same page and approved of the burial spot he'd selected. General Hospital spoilers say Molly and TJ still have some tough problems ahead of them, so we'll bring you more predictions on all the turmoil. The air in Port Charles buzzed with tension on Monday, August 12, as familiar faces navigated the tangled web of secrets, betrayals, and unexpected arrivals. The week kicked off with a surprise that would have long-lasting implications for several residents and set the stage for more drama to unfold. ### Brennan's permanent move to Port Charles. Dr. Brennan Devereux, the enigmatic doctor with a past as murky as the Charles River, had been a temporary fixture in Port Charles, but today marked the day he decided to make his stay permanent. Brennan had always been a man of few words, but those who knew him sensed the gravity of his decision. Standing at the window of his newly acquired apartment, he watched the streets below with a contemplative gaze, the wheels of his mind turning with calculated precision. Brennan's reasons for staying in Port Charles were twofold. The first was professional. GH needed a steady hand, someone who could handle the crisis that seemed to be a regular occurrence in the hospital. The second reason was more personal, buried deep within the secrets that Brennan carried with him like an invisible shroud. His connection to the town ran deeper than most realized, and he knew that staying here meant he'd eventually have to confront the ghosts of his past. As Brennan unpacked the last of his belongings, a knock on his door interrupted his thoughts. Opening it, he was met with the familiar face of Maxie Jones, who had made it her mission to befriend him since his arrival. Maxie, with her bubbly personality and sharp instincts, had a knack for sensing when something was amiss, and today was no exception. "Brennan, welcome to the neighborhood," Maxie chirped, holding out a basket of muffins. "I know you've been here for a while, but now that you're making it official, I thought you could use some homemade carves to help you settle in." Brennan chuckled softly, accepting the basket. "Thank you, Maxie. It's good to know that Port Charles is so welcoming." Maxie's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "So what made you decide to stay? I mean, besides our charming company, of course." Brennan hesitated for a moment, choosing his words carefully. "Let's just say Port Charles has a way of drawing you in, and I have a feeling my work here isn't done." Maxie tilted her head, sensing there was more to the story, but deciding not to press. "Well, I'm glad you're staying. The town could use a good doctor like you, and who knows, maybe you'll find more reasons to stay." Brennan offered a small smile, knowing that Maxie's words held a truth he wasn't ready to face. But he appreciated her kindness nonetheless. ### Nina spills Willow's secret to Maxie. While Brennan was settling into his new life in Port Charles, across town at the Crimson offices, Nina Reeves was struggling with a secret that had been eating away at her for weeks. She sat at her desk, her mind racing as she replayed the events that led her to this moment. Willow Tate's secret had been weighing heavily on her conscience, and she knew it was only a matter of time before it came out. The question was, would it be on her terms or someone else's? Nina was lost in thought when Maxie burst into her office, fresh from her visit to Brennan. "Nina, you will not believe the day I'm having. First, I bring muffins to the new doctor in town, and now I'm here to talk about the magazine's fall issue." Nina forced a smile, trying to push Willow's secret to the back of her mind. Sounds like you're on a roll, Maxie. What's on your mind for the fall issue? Maxie rattled off ideas with her usual enthusiasm, but Nina found it hard to concentrate. Her thoughts kept drifting back to Willow and the burden of the secret she was carrying. It wasn't just about Willow. It was about the impact it would have on everyone around her, especially Michael and Wiley. The guilt gnawed at her, and before she knew it, the words were spilling out. "Maxie, there's something I need to tell you," Nina blurted out, interrupting Maxie's flow of ideas. Maxie blinked in surprise, her focus shifting entirely to Nina. "What is it? You look like you've seen a ghost." Nina took a deep breath, the weight of her decision pressing down on her. "It's about Willow. There's something you need to know, and I can't keep it to myself any longer." Maxie's eyes widened, sensing the seriousness of the situation. She leaned in closer, her voice lowering. "What's going on, Nina? You're scaring me."